Hey, good morning and welcome back to Dakota News Now. It is time for another edition of Owning Your Outdoors, and joining me as always, Doug Schroeder from Lewis. And Doug, we're getting ready to move into a cooler part of the year, so what's something that we can do with our yards in order to adjust for that?
Well, one thing we can do is get ready and make our yards look harvesty and go along with the season. With the cool weather, you're going to go into plants that take cool weather better. And so we have some great examples today of some things that you can put in your planters. Fix up your planters, maybe pull out what hasn't weathered well in the summer and refresh them with some fall annuals.
So we're starting off with a few mums, it looks like.
We do. We have some mums here. They are the king of fall annuals. They are what everybody thinks about when they think of a fall annual. They really are a perennial here, but due to the lack of time for them to get rooted in, they're sold as an annual this time of year. If you want to plant mums in your yard, plant them in the spring. So that's what we do, plant them, first thing in the spring, get them in the ground, let them grow up, about 6 inches tall, pinch them back to about 4 inches, and they're going to get thick and just beautiful.
And if you are going to plant them this time of year, you say give them 6 weeks?
They need 6 weeks, and there's just no guarantee in South Dakota you're going to get that 6 weeks. So.
Right.
But they are beautiful, and one thing I want to point out, when you buy a mum, always make sure you buy one that hasn't broke open completely. You want the time and see how the blossoms are layered. The outer layer will blossom and then your lower layers, so you'll get continuous blooms out of your mums for the fall.
What are some other good plants that we can plant besides the mums?
Well, a new star I want to point out, and it's on the ground out front here, is Sunfinity Sunflower. Sunflowers have become a real big part of landscaping, even throughout the summer. But fall, they look great. Just take one of those home, put it in the planter, and you're set.
Always a fan of that because that is the state flower of my home state, Kansas. So.
Yes, it is. Another great item, Rudbeckia, or commonly known as Black-Eyed Susan. These little beauties come in rust colors, yellows, golds, and they'll grow to about 1 foot tall. Maybe not get that tall because of our lack of growing season, but they're a great accent and great flower.
And you said also down there that you have ornamental peppers.
We do. Ornamental peppers. These little guys will turn to a bright orange as the season goes along. So you get a lot of nice pop of color out of them. Plus the leaves add a lot of texture to any container you put together. And texture is always important.
So what if we already have stuff in our containers, or is there anything that we can keep?
You betcha. One of my biggest tips I tell people is if you have ornamental grasses, include them in your fall displays. As they die out, they add great texture and movement, and harvest is all about things dying back because of the winter coming. So they make a great thriller in your pot. Just add some of the annuals that we've been talking about around it, and you're ready to go.
So basically, just because it's getting cooler doesn't mean that we can't still have our nice pots and ornamental flowers.
Yes, just change them up a little bit, get more into the season.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. We're going to have all this information online at dakotanewsnow.com. Make sure you stick around because we have FastCast coming up next.